That's a really good shot. I don't know why I didn't think to do that before.
What's that?
Turn the camera up more. Like I got the camera sitting like down. Turn it like. Yeah, we said.
Dope.
All right, man. So I'm behind the camera now, and you are front and center.
Front and center.
You are actually not center.
I'm front though.
You are front. We are center now. Okay, so I guess it's kind of similar questions, right? Yo, before I know I'm behind the camera, but I gotta just talk about this man real quick. Listen, y'all. So before we even got here, we were at his garage that he did
Facts.
with four broken ribs in one night. Like, yo, so you know what I mean? Like this is how he did what he did is crazy. But anyway, so well, first I guess introduce yourself, right? Who are you to these people?
So I'm Matt Berto. Yeah, that's who I am.
Right. And so in the last year and a half, I guess you gotta talk about like everything about you, right? But in the last year and a half, if you went 3 years back, would you have expected anything remotely close? I think maybe.
If I go 3 years back, that would put us, 2018, 2019?
Yeah.
Honestly, believe it or not, like I had kind of this vision. You remember,
Right.
like that was kind of our first sort of conversations about, hey, maybe at some point, someday, you know, we might think about doing something. And so, but before that, absolutely not. Like before we moved up to DC, before, you know, Josh got into this stuff a little bit more serious, I would not have thought this.
Right.
And so, and honestly, like you know, like I've had some other businesses that have had, I'll call it varying levels of success, right? But for it to, this is the longest I've been in a business venture where, you know, we're moving, we're staying where we need to be, we're stable, we're doing all this other stuff, and so like there's tons of room to grow, like as we know.
What?
But yeah, I wouldn't have thought that. And then, you know, to your point about me, like, and I grew up in West Virginia, so you know, like 5 kids in a house, single income, sharing sticks of gum. Like we talk about that all the time. Like, yeah, sharing sticks of gum. Like, I did not come from a place where, typically speaking, people are business owners, people are entrepreneurs, like especially in the time period that I grew up.
Right.
So definitely wasn't something that I would have foreseen for myself. But like, you know, like I appreciate the credit, but this doesn't happen without you either, right? So, you know, this is what
we a team.
There's actually a photo that we're gonna dig up for this video that I kind of want to overlay as I say this. There's a photo of us, you and I, sitting at that end over there of the gym. Turf we just kind of rolled out, and we're sitting there together. And that photo, we're just kind of sitting there just talking, you know, about
on the floor.
Yeah,
he had just did it. Ben's over here somewhere.
Yeah, because he actually took the picture, right?
Okay.
And so like that photo has always stuck with me in the back of my mind about what this is. You know, we're just together. Like at the end of the day,
we're in it.
And we're in it. And so we're I think part of us are like, this is really cool. The other part of us is like, there's a lot.
It's a lot, yo.
Because you can actually see it in this photo, right?
Yeah.
I think I even got the kind of what Josh calls the stroke the beard of wisdom.
Right.
I think I even got this thing going on right here. Like I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this. But yeah,
I think, oh my God. Like when you say that, it's like we haven't even, man, we didn't even do, okay, so think about this. When you think about it, the last past year and 2 months, right? So 14 months.
Yeah.
Even though when you're going through it, it goes so slow.
Yeah.
Think about, or just touch on how much was done in those months, right? Like, where most people do that in a lifetime of their business.
Yeah.
You know.
I think because of the way we approached it, right? Because we said this can be something that improves over time. Like, we obviously want to put the best product we can
For sure.
immediately out there, but we kind of knew, like, hey, there's some baseline things that we need, and we focused on those things and phased it appropriately. You know, we wanted to get operational, we wanted to get all this stuff squared away, and then we can go work on the other stuff, right? But yeah, I think, you know, for real, like, of course, you know, I do math, right? So
yeah,
I think we probably ended up saving ourselves about $40,000 with the work that we did ourselves, right?
Right.
And so, because, you know, I look at other businesses that come into a space and they got to build out and they got to do this, they got to do that.
Right.
For those of you guys that don't know, there's typically kind of two approaches to a commercial lease. They'll either want to give you some sort of lease credit, like a lease abatement where they don't charge you lease for a period of time, or they'll do a build out allowance. In our case, the landlords wanted to do a lease abatement, which actually worked really well for us because even in the transition, as well as it went, there was still, like, we were actually in a pandemic, by the way, in a pandemic, but we also were in that dead space of kind of the cycle of training, right? Remember, we were in the December, January, February,
that's when we
opened, right? And so we opened in that space, and so
in a pandemic.
But just we did a lot, man. Like, we did a lot in a short amount of time.
Like, when you think about that was December. When you think about that, this is January. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We've been moving so fast. I don't think we've even thought about. That's what I say when I say we haven't celebrated to that extent.
For real. Yeah.
Because when you think about, most people will celebrate when they get a fashion line. They're gonna celebrate when they get shoes.
Right.
They're gonna celebrate when they get flip flops.
Right.
They're gonna celebrate when they get hats.
Right.
They're gonna celebrate when they get the hoodie. They're gonna celebrate when they get the
Right.
gym.
Right.
They're gonna celebrate when they get the studio. They're gonna celebrate when the money starts to go. Like, they're gonna celebrate all that. We haven't really, because we're still like on our plan.
Right. You know, on our plan, like we're on the track, but we're not there yet. And but for real, when we can both be done with our outside employment, and this becomes what we do.
Man.
And just to go back to your question, like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I went through.
You did the hard stuff.
Yeah, I did the military stuff.
Right.
You know, I thought that's what I wanted to do. I did, you know, the government employee stuff, and that's what I thought. That's what I wanted to do. And like when I'm here, for as much as I can be here, you know, everything else going on. Like this is like home.
Right.
For real, like home away from home. Like I just, this is what I want to do. And so, because it's the impact.
Yeah.
You know, I know for you, but for me, I've always been about the impact. Like, even when I chose the jobs and the career path that I chose in the military, I did it because I wanted to be able to influence as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And so this is just a way different form than what I ever thought. And what I realized is I was looking for influence in my current jobs, and it's fine. It pays the bills, and it keeps us to be able to do this and build this into eventually this becomes everything that we want it to be, which it will, by the way. But that was kind of organizational impact. You and I talked about this, and so the organizational impact is great if that's what you're looking for, but just know that the minute you leave that organization, like, your impact ceases, right? Because the next person that comes in can change whatever you did or what impact you had. Whereas what we do here, right? What we do here, as far as the lives of the young people that we touch, and the influence that we have, the space that we give them to pursue their dreams, when outside of this, they might not have necessarily access to the things that we provide. And so, like, for me, like, that's huge, because that's that's lasting impact. Like that lasts as long as they do.
Right, for
You
sure.
know?
And yeah,
So the true definition of changing lives, like when I look at the two things of the way I've kind of approached my professional career, like the previous way, organizational versus the personal,
Right.
like this is the true impact.
right.
This is the true.
That's the one that impacts you back.
Right. That's the piece that you can pick up the paper and you can
Right.
see, you see Alden went for 31 the other night. You know what I mean? You can see that
You
piece
gotta
of,
think. You gotta think. You have credit in that now, right? Like.
right,
you
like
gotta say,
I, you
that's
know
what I'm
me,
saying.
like I don't feel like I do
But
too
you-
much. I get it, I understand, but yeah, like that's the piece that comes back, and
Right.
you go, yeah, like that's the piece. Like she's gonna go and she's gonna do, just for example, she's gonna go and do great things,
Right.
and like we had a piece of that, we had a piece of helping her to get to where she is and where
For
she's
sure.
gonna go.
For sure.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, and so just when you think about that, so when you look at that, did you ever think in year 2022 that you would be on the verge of helping as many kids as you are? We know you just said definitely you didn't think it was gonna be in this style, but did you think you were gonna help kids at all? You know what I mean? Like,
No, like it was not something that I really, it wasn't that I was like against it or anything.
Right.
It just wasn't the phase of people's lives that I envisioned impacting people. I was looking at it from like the professional standpoint, like
Right.
like you're in this profession that I'm in, and I'm going to influence and help, and especially the military. The youngest person that you influence in the military is 17, right? And so like that's.
I'm about to get posted.
You about to get a what?
I'm about to go to the posters.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. He's getting a poster, y'all.
All right, so when you look at this poster right here,
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you
Look at
think?
this, y'all, first of all. Look at this. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But like, so when you think
Yeah.
about that, that's you got to think all them kids. They came through
Yeah.
either here or the gym,
Like it's crazy.
and that's in 1 year,
And then think about the lives that they're gonna touch.
right?
And think about like the lessons that they're learning here.
Right.
Because y'all, we're not easy on kids here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like this ain't the place where you're gonna come and you're gonna go through a class and you can come and do your own pace and you can do this and do that, because like that's not what we do. And
And we're not talking about that. We got pictures.
like Alden,
You're right.
still saying Alden,
You
like,
know,
like
that's right.
I don't know how weather shows up, but
Oh my God, it's amazing.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
well,
amazing.
I mean, our space is amazing. So, yeah, like I think about the lessons that these kids are going to take away. I think about the lessons that my kids are going to take away. And so those lessons of like these are big time athletes, y'all.
Right.
Like
I'm thinking about
like,
my
like-
son's around these kids.
like it's crazy. Like think about that. Like your kid. Think about Juju now.
Right.
Like he is going to grow up around some of the top athletes.
Okay, yeah.
in this county. Like think about that. Like that's crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
And the example of what it takes.
Like I think Kendall's on that first one.
Yeah.
We gotta do one for Kendall.
Yeah.
This one, yeah. But if she's on that first one, then that one's crazy too. But so then, Josh. You gotta talk about Josh, right?
Yeah.
You gotta talk about your wife. You can't leave them out.
Yeah,
But-
so, well, I love my wife. She's amazing.
Right.
I haven't approached it, so when we first started going out, like people call us the couple of the millennium. Like
Okay.
you got to remember, like this is 2001. So
Right,
the millennium
right.
was new, and everybody was. But that's what they called us, right?
Yeah.
And so like we've always been that. When we decide to do something, like we're unstoppable.
Right.
Like together, we're like an unstoppable force, man. Like
Right.
that's just what it is. And so, you know, she is all in on this stuff. Like,
Right,
she
yeah.
is all in, and that is, I don't take that for granted,
Right.
because not every partner is going to be as all in on what their other partner's doing as she is. Like,
Right.
like seriously, and so, like sometimes for real, like she's more in it than I am. Like,
Right, she's
like she's more in it than I am, and so, but that's cool. I love her for that. So,
Right.
but what that does for Josh is he doesn't have to. Well, one, he can't. Let me just start there.
Right.
He can't sort of kind of play both sides.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, at the
as
same
kids
time.
do. Like Josh is Josh, and Josh is a pretty driven, focused, kid.
Right.
But he's
He's
still
still
a
a
kid, right? And so kids do what they do, the mommy daddy game and all that stuff, right? But
Right.
but he can't do that
Right.
because we are like
Right.
this on this thing, and so it sets up an environment for him to where it's going to make him successful, because it's like we tell them all the time, like you can fail 100%, but you're going to go 100%.
Right.
You know,
Felt at 100.
we're going to fail fast, and then we're going to get up and
Keep going.
keep
Right.
going, because there's greatness in that kid.
Right.
He works hard for what he got and what he has and what he's gonna get. But it's he told me when he was 8 that he swore to me. He said, "Daddy, I swear to you, I'm gonna play in the NFL."
Right.
And as a parent, you kind of go, "Okay, buddy." Like
Right.
you kind of go, "All right." My response to him was, "There are a lot of steps
Right.
that have to be taken between where we sit today in my truck in San Antonio, Texas,
Right.
and where you're talking about going.
Fact.
But as long as, just side note, a lot of parents think we're crazy,
Right.
like
Yeah.
legitimately insane for the things that we do.
Yeah.
But when your kid has the gift of a vision, when they have the gift of a passion at 10 years old,
Right.
like that's just not normal, not common.
Right.
However, what I would say, going back to how we influence the kids here, I would say it is more common than I thought it was, because this place is the convergence
Right.
of like-minded kids who have that dream, who have that vision, who have that passion. And so that's been the eye-opening thing for me. If we go all the way back to one of the first questions you asked me, was kind of what do you think after all
Right.
this? Like there's more of us than I thought there were. You know what I mean?
I think we convert them.
Yeah.
I think we do a good job of teaching it. We have found the way that you teach. We found out how to teach greatness.
Yeah.
I think that we can safely say we found out how to teach. Like there's kids that I don't think came in great.
Right.
And they didn't want to follow the processes, and they didn't want to
Right.
do those things. And so I do think that there's a way in there where greatness was something that we taught.
Well, greatness is a mindset.
Right.
Greatness is a mindset that we try to say, like, we're going to focus on what we do, and we're not going to try to compare ourselves or do that kind of stuff. But I've been in some of those other places. As far as the folks that do what we do, they're great at what they do. They're amazing at what they do. But the mindset piece,
Right. It's just different.
it's different. Like it's just different.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
And so the mindset that you got to have to come in here, and that's what I was saying earlier, where we're not just going to allow you to come in here and go through the motions.
Right.
You might have some emotions as you go through the process, right?
Right.
But
Everybody will.
Right. Everybody will. But if you can get past that, if you can focus on the process and understand the mindset that it takes, like that's the piece where I think we give them the recipe.
Right.
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 How many athletes have we seen? Like our girl athletes are tough, man. Like, and some of them came in here not tough.
A lot of them.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Some of
I
them
do.
came in here not tough,
A
and
lot of
so.
them.
But now, not only are they developing that mindset in here, but they're translating it,
Right.
to the field of play, the court, whatever the case may be, and that's huge. Like that's that impact. But going back to Josh, to have the ability to be in a space where that convergence of like-minded young people for him is huge.
Right.
Because, pandemic was rough on people. He did a reclass year for him specifically, and he struggled consistency-wise. We know that.
Right.
A lot of that had to do with him not being around the
Right.
people that had the drive that he did constantly. Right. So Josh is going to be, I fully believe that there's greatness in that kid.
8 years away from the time that he said it.
Right. And
only 8.
Now, think about this. Now, just about halfway through, actually closer to his goal
Then away from it, right?
Than he was at that time.
Yeah.
Right? So he's, realistically.
Like then from here to there is 8 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is 6.
Yeah.
At max.
7. Right. So he's
not even.
He's just a freshman.
Dang.
He's just a freshman, yo. So he just he just this past year crossed that halfway point.
That's crazy.
To his dream. So
Does that say no?
does that say what?
What time is it?
It is an hour and 2 minutes. It is 1:50. That is ahead an hour and 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, wait a minute.
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
up. Does that say it's supposed to be 3? Because I'm supposed to go pick up somebody at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I made myself nervous. right there. Oh, that doesn't say 3. Okay. So, I don't know. That was a pretty long interview.
That was a pretty long interview.
That was a pretty good one, though. That's what I think. See, I'm telling you, it's good, though. It feels good, doesn't it? To just do it, like, dang, I can talk about it a lot. You don't even realize you have that much to talk about.
Right.
So you start talking, like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. I'm not the social media.
But think about how good we're gonna be at this bullshit when it's time.
Like we could 100% have a podcast.
Man, we're gonna have one. It's gonna be called Perception is Reality, the privately productive podcast where perception is reality, and you can speak your mind 100% of the time. I got the whole come in. Listen, that's all. Just so you know, it says. I don't know if we can. I don't know.
You put it on this one
That-
right here. We'll make this the first one.
This is the. I mean, we put it on it. It's on it.
Yeah.
We just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Hey, man, it's raw. It's literally the first time, and nobody's gonna see it until they see it. Right.
Until they find it.
Right. They're gonna have to be like, oh,
the
shoot.
scavenger hunt.
And at that point, we're gonna be fucking pros.
Can you imagine? Listen, we talk about the scavenger hunt and find the music, right?
Right.
But just these little things that we do that people don't know,
Like, you're where?
and you can send them. Like, think about this. We actually have a Virginia Velocity Instagram account.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So when we start posting on it, like the question is over this year we're gonna build that, right? And then towards the end of the season, we'll be, oh, by the way, go follow.
Right, go follow these pages.
Go follow this page, and it's gonna be like
And
the
it's
scavenger
already
hunt.
done.
Like, okay, go find our 7-on-7 account.
Right.
Go
That
find.
shit, I don't even know what's gonna be. Go find our Gainesville Hawks account.
Right, like go find.
Find the Elite Experience Fashion.
Right. It's crazy.
That's a lot, man. I mean, that's why I like doing this stuff. Like, it's weird. It's like a daily journal. It's like a live journal.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like the one day I was posting about walking. Some people don't think they think that's hard. I'm like, man, that's if you're complaining about walking a couple miles to go get a car that you need to drive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you don't know. You understand what,
Yeah.
And so I think about, we could fucking do a podcast. Like, no, there's no chance that we could not do a podcast. That's not even. And think about, like, this room is dope, but we could do it in the studio room. We could do it.
We could just do it at rotating locations, man. You
Facts.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many of the different things that we do. Like one day, like once we get a field rental, we could go out on the field and do one out there and just be like.
And you gotta think. You ever think like we are everything? Like not in a cocky way or arrogant way, but like obviously we know God helps us on everything that we do. But what I'm saying is like we switched just to be the videographer.
Yeah.
That was it. Like that was. You know what I'm saying? Like we're the interviewer.
Yeah. We talked about it the other day actually. Like everything that we have said that has come out of our mouth that we were going to do, like we've done it.
Right. Some version of it.
Some version of it. Like it might not be complete.
Right.
But some version of it, like, okay, so we're gonna go to my garage and we're we're gonna get that going, and we're gonna make a place where kids can come and do that kind of stuff. We did it.
All right.
Quickly.
Facts.
Well, quickly. Okay, yeah, we need to formalize this thing, and we need to. Okay, cool. I think that was September, October,
It's fast.
right? And November we signed a lease.
Right.
You asked me like, what do we need? I said, I think we need a space. I think we're at the point now where we need a space.
Right.
In like a month.
Mm-hmm. It was
Not even a month, because it was Columbus Day. Y'all,
So,
something is crazy with Columbus
nah.
Day and me. I don't know
But
what
remember,
it is.
so you're not understanding. This was October 1st to October 11th. It was 11 days.
Right. Facts.
It was 11 days, and then it was 1 month exactly.
And then it was the wait on getting them to.
So yeah, it was just 1
Move
month
the
exactly
leash, yeah,
that they
yeah,
tried to
yeah.
do it on this November 2nd.
Yeah.
But it was from the first, in 1 month of having the idea,
Right.
maybe we should go now.
Right.
Right, we should start looking now.
Right.
Start looking on the 1st. That's what I can say. We start looking on the 1st. Then we signed, or then you got that lady on the 11th.
Yeah.
Right, we signed shortly after that, even though it felt like forever.
Forever. In the moment, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Like, our, if
I
it
was
was
sitting
days
at work
or
looking
years.
looking at my phone, thinking you were gonna call me like, hey, we got it, and it's just forever. It was like 4 days.
Right, right. But you see you feel every second,
Yeah,
every second, every day,
yeah.
like it's a day.
Yeah.
I thought I was 20 years older. I was like, yo, there's no way I'm still the same age.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So but it's I guess when I think about it though, it's like in a lot of other situations, or people that have something that looks at least as good as what ours does, it has a product put out as well as ours is, they normally have like other people.
True.
You know, a lot of other people.
True.
Like
True.
it was me, you, Ben. You know what I mean? We talking about the workload of
Right.
physically doing anything, in a large scale of everything that was done. And so we had some people pitch in if you're talking about cars and stuff like that, like Jim when he, you know what I mean,
for
with the
sure,
truck and
for
stuff like that. But for real, like if you take any of us three out of that equation, you know what I mean? Things don't get done as fast. I can tell you that.
It's not. Like maybe we burn another month.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which could be detrimental to everything.
Which could have been the difference, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Because maybe this could have went the day after we thought about it. Like that's what I'm saying. We move so fast.
Yeah.
From thought to action is not
It's
not
crazy.
much hesitation.
It's crazy. I think the longest thing has been velocity, because we've been talking about that for the longest.
But that was only because pandemic.
I know, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, that was pandemic. I had a kid.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
But
That was.
But now that it's on, like it's on. Like,
Right.
Like it's on. And,
That's- and our kids
and
are
I'm
good.
telling you right now, January 28th, 2022, next time this year, they're going to be multiple teams under velocity.
Yeah.
Because of the way we're approaching this.
Right.
You know,
Even with this, like
it's
imagine.
not a prideful thing, it's not anything like that, but you know, we're going to have some of these kids in here doing these types of interviews where they're,
We're gonna have all of them.
where they're talking about, you know, their life, talking about their dreams and talking about all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
what?
Like it's going to be crazy. And, you know, that profile that we did of Josh, that Deck shot and that you kind of produced almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that stuff still gets views, by the way.
Right. Oh yeah. I
Like
didn't
it's
think about that.
like it's still out there, and like yeah, like
Just think about this. We're gonna be doing this all every day though. Like when you
Right.
see how this looks behind this camera. I mean, I know you saw it a little bit, but like,
yeah,
I'm telling you, I already know how I'm gonna put it together too, man. And the thing is, this interview can be 50 different interviews.
Right.
It's been so freaking long, though, right? This is like an hour and a half.
right,
You know, we got there's some good commentary on here
yeah,
that could be overlaid on stuff too. And then again, I think about you know, you got to think what I don't say on camera, right? We have technically, I just have to go get them reinstated, right? We have Dream Property Management as an LLC. We have GoldenEye Visuals as an LLC. And so when you look at those things, and honestly, we talk about the elite experience, but faithfully defined, you know what I mean?
it's kind of the parent to everything.
Right.
Yeah,
And so, which I just looked at something about a C corp, which we'll talk about, but it's
Yeah.
it's going up and putting everything through a trust. But you gotta get a C corp first. And anyway,
Yeah,
so
the 501c3 is one of the
Okay,
next
so
things
yeah.
for us, because you know, putting velocity into that is going to help us.
that's a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to help us get access to a few things, not the least of which is the county fields, which apparently you have to be a 501c3 to rent for some reason.
Right.
But yeah, it's been crazy.
Interesting. I
Man.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the journey has been has been amazing.
Complicated but fun.
Yeah, like it has actually been, if you think about it, it's actually been everything that's sort of if you really just step back, it's been the classic sort of entrepreneurial.
Every situation.
Yeah, like
God,
I just remember
dang.
I don't even know where I'm going. I'm driving on 95 North, and the phone rings, and you go, "We got a problem." And there was a lake back here.
Oh yeah. I was like, this
Like it was
got
a
an
lake.
issue.
And I was like,
So we got an issue today.
right, right. And that was like December.
That was right after. Yeah, that was because it was snowed.
Right.
Yeah.
It was snowing, it rained,
Wasn't
it was
January,
snow,
that
and yeah, there was a lake back there.
Like, of course. It was too easy. I was like, it was just too easy. It could not have been that easy for too long of a period of time
Right.
in the beginning.
Right.
Right. I was like,
It had to be some kind of hiccup.
Right.
Always. Yeah.
But again, like we've had the things where I look back and I'm like, man, that would have broke somebody. That right there by itself, nothing else needed to happen. That would have broke somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, it's not that we did this perfect, but god dang, if we didn't do, the only thing that's messing with me is some things don't stick as much as I want them to. But
The things don't stay.
the light,
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
you know, you weren't here when I put the lights up, so they're not all in straight lines, and they're probably not glued, or they're not glued at all, but they're not stuck on the best.
Yeah, it does mess with my OCD a little bit
Yeah.
sometimes, but I've gotten better. I got better, believe it or not. I'm actually able to
Right.
compartmentalize it a little bit.
I want to figure out how to get a mirror. See, that will give, when you shoot a shot,
Yeah.
that will give the decoration from here to there
True,
without having to decorate anything.
true,
Still just a mirror,
true.
you know, and then it gives the look. Like, I don't know if you ever, I know you've seen it, but I don't know if you ever pay attention. So if I shoot here, it gives the aspect that there's more people in the gym.
Right.
Right.
It also makes it look bigger.
Right,
Because-
exactly, because it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be big. That's going to be that's going to be huge to the focal point of where I can shoot now this way.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So that's the first podcast, y'all. It's the first one right there.
Put it in the books.
Yeah. Again, privately productive podcast. Perception is reality. We're going to make a book, y'all. I'm telling you, we're going to make a book. It's going to be us.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, in the covers of the book. I'm just trying to go.
Yeah.